Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Collective Whisper podcast. I'm your host, Simon Kay, and it's great to have you guys back again. And today we have a very special guest. So stay tuned for this episode. But before you do, remember, please subscribe and please share. So today we're going to be speaking to Master Wong. Born amidst the turmoil and hardships of Vietnam, Master Wong's journey is a profound testament to the power of resilience and inner strength. Facing adversity from a young age, he transformed obstacles into opportunities for growth. His life shows the power of perseverance, wisdom, and the unyielding spirit of the human heart. As told in his autobiographical work, Little Dragon, The Reckoning, Master Wong's story is one of triumph against all odds, inspiring countless individuals worldwide. Master Wong's teachings are deeply rooted in the ancient philosophies of Lao Tzu and Sun Tzu, blending timeless wisdom with modern strategies for personal mastery. His approach to life centers on the balance of yin and yang, guiding individuals to align their physical, mental, and spiritual selves. This alignment transforms lives, empowering people to achieve harmony in health, wealth, and relationship. More than a methodology, the KT3 system represents a profound way of life, meticulously crafted by Master Wong to promote excellence in all aspects of existence. The system is built upon three foundational pillars: knowledge transfer, tactical training, transformational growth. Master Wong's teachings embody the invaluable wisdom imparted by his revered mentors, Masters Chen, Master Lin, and Master Li. These teachings have been distilled into the KT3 system, a powerful framework that has empowered countless individuals to overcome life's challenges, achieve mastery, and live a life of balance and fulfillment. Through the KT3 system, Master Wong has mentored countless individuals, helping them gain clarity and confidence as they navigate life's complexities. His approach is both transformative and practical, offering strategies that apply not just in personal development, but also in professional success and spiritual growth. As we step into the world of Master Wong, a paragon of resilience, martial arts mastery, KT3 strategic thinking, and holistic health, he has an impressive digital following, including 2.9 million on YouTube, 1.3 million on Facebook, 310,000 on Instagram, and 130,000 on TikTok. Master Wong's influence is far-reaching. Master Wong continues to publish new books and resources, sharing his evolving insights and experiences. Welcome to the show, Master Wong. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for you to invite me here, and it's quite interesting time for this. Yes,
it's lovely. And you're based near London, you said to me earlier, an hour from London, no?
I'm based outside London, 1.5 hours away from London, the town called Ipswich.
Very good. And tell me, at the moment, are you very busy? Is this a quiet time in your life? Or what's kind of happening?
At this time, I'm so busy trying to get things organized because I got a lot of writing to do, a lot of mentorship for different people into the free area, health, wealth, and relationship. So I do a lot of preparation for that. And also, as you know, online, I do a lot of different things, but I gear a lot to work on coaching at this present moment, coaching and mentorship. So yeah, I'm quite busy at the moment on that area.
Very good. And how many years have you been in the UK now?
I came to UK when I'm about 11 years old, so I'm about 53 now. So you're talking about what, 40, 41, 42 years? Yeah,
wow.
40 odd years now,
okay.
Yeah.
And 40 years ago in the UK, it was a much different place to now.
Yes, when it came to UK, it's a little bit different to now. Big different. Things changing a lot now. So yeah, it's a lot of races, because we are called a boat people from Vietnam War. When the Vietnam War almost ended, America came over, and the Vietnam War almost end, and we have a border war with China. And the border war with China, that create a lot of massive migration. That's called boat people. So my father is part of the boat people, and we are boat people, refugee from Vietnam.
That's really interesting. Let's go back a little towards Vietnam. So what are your memories? What's your earliest memories from Vietnam when you were 3, 4, 5? What do you remember life as being like there?
Oh, my journey in Vietnam is very rich with many chaos and many unforgettable memories. Because when I'm 6 years old, my father left Vietnam, go to UK, go, like on a boat, get away from Vietnam because of all the chaos. And I in Vietnam with my mom and my brother. But in that particular period of time, they have a lot of bully because of half breed. I'm half Vietnamese and half Chinese. Because you're half Vietnamese, half Chinese, many Vietnamese people don't like it. So they're gonna bully you every time and they fight with you and all sort of things going on, in Vietnam. So people dying, it's so much chaos in that 6 years of my time in Vietnam. It's so much chaos. That's why I've written the book talk about my life in Vietnam when I'm younger, so people can get more in deeper understanding of the psychology, the mindset of the war-torn Vietnam, that where I came from. The way you see, this is where the problem is a lot online. You see me online as martial art, but you don't understand my background. People don't understand why I act that way, or why I talk that way, or why I doing certain thing I do. Because when I'm in Vietnam, when I'm young, it's so much going on affecting my life, because I get bullied very young until now. You see, so whole of my life it go through all this chaos. So this is where a lot of things happen in Vietnam. So I like people to read and learn a little bit about it before you start to look at somebody and just judging them as the person. I don't understand the background. You understand what I'm saying?
You're right. And you mentioned earlier, we see a persona, especially on the internet. We see a part of someone, who they are professionally. We see their internet history and everything. But we don't know unless we ask the question about their earlier life, unless we delve into that. And that for me is very interesting, because it's always nice to find what made that person become who they are, the obstacles, the challenges, and so on.
This is very interesting about people. It's something in their life to turn them up to be like that. So because of this, like for me, I'm involved in gangs at a very young age, involved in triad gangs. I see many things. I see people killed. I see people hurt. I see drug. I see all sort of things. I involved with this thing in my life when I'm younger. So I go through a lot. When I go through a lot of this, when I go online to changing myself to become a little bit more better, because when I met my master, teaching me to become a little bit more better than before, that my life changing to become better when I go online. I don't want to be live in that lifestyle like in the past. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to revisit the past, talking about gangster, hurting people, and do other things. So my persona online, I'm changing to become more of everything I'm doing is a little bit more different. I like to have more fun. I have to have a laugh. I like to do this kind of thing, because I see many people I'm going out hurting people. It's very simple. So I don't want to tell people or start to showing them like this and glorify that particular thing online, to let the youngster don't understanding this, because they need education. They don't understanding it, and I started thinking that's cool. That's good to be like that. You see? So it's a very different between who you are before to who you are now. And that's fine line in between that people get to learn about it. And when they understand about the person, you will learn a lot about life, you see. So if you don't learn about someone, you don't learn about yourself when you are moving forward. You see what I'm saying? And that's why we are into a lot of education now than before.
Yes. And the great thing about it is it's having the courage and the humbleness to look back on your life previously and say, I made mistakes. I was involved in this. I did this. I'm not proud of it, but it showed me to take the right path. And it showed me what I did wrong. And at the time, maybe I didn't know any different. I was a young person. I didn't know any different. I was influenced by people. But it teaches you then as a person not to take those paths and to stop other people taking those paths, doesn't it?
See, this is something you just mentioned as very interesting. Because when you're in the third world country, communist, everything, the knowledge is compressed into the very, very small that who feed you that information. Every day when I'm growing up, it's the people surround me. They feed you with this information that this is what your life is. Your life a shit show, meaning you cannot get out of that. You either die or fry. It's no other way for it. So for you to survive, you have to have the iron fist. You have to have all this mindset to able to survive, because the chaos in that particular environment is not normally like the Western. You don't live that way. So because of that reason, your knowledge is very little, because nobody educates you. So that's where your life is. You only know the difference is how to hurt people, how to survive, you don't get hurt, and how you thrive in your life. But while I'm
Right.
growing up, the people I met, they educate me. And that time for me, it learn to sit, listen, and understand what they're teaching me as for the oldest. They're teaching you. While they're teaching you, you learn to change. You understand that life is got to be different than where I am now. So this is why you're changing. So that you just mentioned there, you have to acknowledge. It's like anything. If people don't acknowledge they have problem, they never change. And because they never change, they'll never be able to formation themselves to become the better version of themselves because they always stay where they are. My master teach me something very interesting in called a KT. KT is called a knowledge transfer. You transfer from the knowledge you're learning to the young person to transfer that knowledge. Good or bad knowledge, it depends on the environment you're in. T, tactical training. My master is resistant fighter, okay? A guerrilla warfare resistant fighter in Vietnam in a war with America. The way he thinking, it's very different to the way you thinking. Okay, the way he thinking, the way he been through, it's very different because his life is like that. And then I met the master, Master Lin, teach me about transformation, how to get yourself to understand about yourself, to be transformed yourself, to become a better person. For this revolving and learning, you have to understanding how your life is. Then you can start to know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you come from, you're not going to know where you're going. You're pretending like I came to here for 40 years. You expect me to changing to become British or English. No, I'm Vietnamese. I know where I come from. I know my hardship. I know how I need to be better. And all the youngster and newcomer to this world, youngster, they need to be educated. I don't have to educate before, but now I can. I got a voice. I got the education. I want to educate them to understanding it. You need to know where you come from so you know where you're going. For that, you need to listen and follow the person or the people that you're following that have a good attention in you. If they don't have a good attention in you, they start to brainwash you to make you become who they want you to be. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where we end up.
Yes. No, you're right, because unfortunately, as time goes on and people are affected by consumerism and money and greed and all of these things, people have deeper ulterior motives. And unfortunately, whether it be the normal person in the street who wants something for themselves, or it be the criminal gangs or the criminal masterminds, people are able to brainwash young kids into doing what they want to do. And unfortunately, the kids don't have the knowledge or capacity to understand that this person is brainwashing them. So you always need to have a good mentor in life to pull you aside and say, look, don't go down that path. And especially when you consider right now in the UK, the amount of knife crime and everything. And it's a shocking statistic that I saw a top surgeon said that he said most of the young people carrying knives, he said they have a 85% chance of being killed with their own knife. And the problem is a lot of them are carrying it for fear of other people with knives. So we have this vicious circle of violence where instead of people going to the martial arts gym to tunnel and funnel that energy and that violence and hatred and all these things into a more peaceful place, they're just choosing to pick up the knife in fear, no?
This is very interesting question you're asking there. In my story, when I'm 6 years old, I carry a knife that my father gave me because of fear of so many people that surround me every time I go out. They want to hurt me and kill me in 6 years old. So wow. I'm fighting. I'm scared. So what I do, I carry the knife with me. The knife is not there to kill people. It just gives me some comfort. I feel that strong that I hold in my hands, that I feel strong. It's not because I want to hurt someone, but because of that instant I have when I'm in an alleyway, go back to my home, 3 or 4 of them surround me. They're bigger than me. They surround me. I don't know what they're doing. I see them start killing people, okay, hurting them, killing them in front of me. So what do? So I fear, I'm scared when they grapple me. I'm going to pull the knife. I'm going to stop whatever I need to stop. And I need to do what I need to do. And then I get away. So while you understanding where I coming from, when I talk about this full experience, You have to look at the youngster nowadays. It's not because they want to carry knife, because their fear of all this information people feed them with, especially in gangs. They hurt each other, kill each other, and they've got no other way than carry something in their hand to make them feel strong. Because
Yes.
of this, they don't know how to use it. You just mentioned just right. Because if that time that boy, okay, grabbed my knife, he stabbed me and he killed me, okay?
Yes.
Because I don't know how to wield it. I don't know how to use it because knowledge, power is in your hand, but if you don't know how the knowledge to able to wield them and able to understand them, you will get hurt. So when I'm started helping or get a kid come through and talk about dealing with a lot of charity and bit and pieces about gangs, because I involve a lot of that, I tell them to understand that you're not wrong that you carry weapon, but you have to understanding that why you're carrying and need to learn. We live in a world very differently. You have choice. You have choice of not getting involved with the people you surround with. Trying to get involved with the right people. And if you know what you want in life, you need to pursue that. You not want to be professional gangster and you not want to be professional killer. Because if you are, you're more likely to die. So you educate them through the way that they can understand it and educate through them in a way that they feel that, yes, you come through that way. You understand how I feel. Nowadays, people just say, oh, you hold a knife, that's bad. You do this is bad. That's not going to help anyone, and that's not going to do anything to anyone because you don't even understand why they do that. Because you're never in that situation. You're never in the fear of life and death. How do you know what does it feel like when somebody when he came out your door? So you have to understand how they think. And that way became so much more easier when we talk about that particular way to helping a youngster. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. And fear is a huge factor in people's lives. And nowadays, so many people live privileged lives. And we have first world problems, we have third world problems. But the truth is, young people nowadays, they just need to be educated more in those aspects. Like you said, if I have a knife and I have no training with that knife, and I take that out against a bigger opponent, I probably will be the one who will be injured or killed. And that's the problem, is that if you're there with no knife, you maybe have a chance. But if you're more or less handing the knife to a bigger opponent, you're in trouble.
Very true. And this is why it's important to know by educate them to know the difference, because they don't know any different. That is where the problem is. That's it. You know what I mean? It's about teaching them, understanding the differences.
Yes. And tell me, when we go back, let's say, to Vietnam, how did your upbringing in Vietnam shape your approach to martial arts in general?
The thing is, when I'm in Vietnam, when I'm learning through my master teaching me, the way they're teaching is very different to the way people are learning nowadays. I learn in a street environment. I learn in a gang world environment. Okay? So in reality, I know everything is a consequence. Okay? But nowadays in the martial art, you're learning and training technique is in a safety environment. It's no danger and no consequence if you make the mistake. You see what I'm saying? So that's different. So when I'm teaching online, a lot of time you see me, a lot of time I do it in the street. I see most of my video, I do them in the street.
Yes.
Because what I want to let people understanding the difference between what I'm teaching and the difference I put online and to my lesson, it lets you understanding everything happen. It happened in the street.
In the
street. It don't happen in a environment is safety. Okay? Because when you're in the street making a video or making a lesson, you see people walking, you see everything, you see sound, noise, voice, everything going on, while you still concentration on teaching somebody something and make fun of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
no, of course.
That is the difference. But when I'm learning in a martial art, people don't understanding is martial art for training into fitness or training to learning to holding the belt is very different to learning to be survival. Okay, it's very different because technique you're learning to having the belt is not able to cross over that easily to the technique in the street. because technique in the street is about the intent of your opponent come to you. And the intent is about you conduct yourself in the environment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
Your
of course.
environment, how you going to get hurt or do you going to get badly hurt is you respond to it the way you respond to that person. Okay?
Yes.
If you start to swear at them and have a go at them and you haven't got the ability and you're pretending you are, you more likely this guy here, the street fight, and they always want to hurt people. They don't care if you got 20,000 black belt. They're all they're interested in is going to break your neck. It's a two different kind of mindset here you are talking about. You see? Yeah. So when I'm teaching people, I explain to them the differences between this and this. And when they came to see me to train in personally, I always ask them, what do you want to learn martial art for? Because the way you learn the martial art, okay, for a different reason, I will teach you to gear towards that. If you're training into competition, I cannot teach you to kill people because it's not the mindset, the instinct, you don't have it. Because I'm teaching a lot of military people at the same time or special police. If your job is in that environment, you have to learn this kind of movement because it's more related to you and it's in your interest to learn this because when you need it, you know it's available for you. You understand where I'm going?
No, of course, yeah. And they're different. They're totally different things. When I was training in martial arts, you're learning sport karate, you're learning katas, you're learning all of these things. And then there came a day when I had to use it on the street and I realized it's not effective, right? The thing I had been learning was not effective. You get little bits of things, and sometimes those little things you do take from it can save your life. And that happened to me. I had a situation once with some people with knives, and I was lucky to get away with my life. The training I had helped me, but it also made me realize that I needed more knowledge and I needed to be more aware. And I think ever since that time, I've always been like, when I walk down the street, I'm fully aware of what's happening. My wife's always laughing. I'm looking around and I think myself, so many people are not aware of what's happening now. And I think tactically, it's not about being a tactician in the military. Tactically, as a person, in order to survive in a modern world, you can't be with your face buried in the phone because the guy up the street doesn't care about your feelings. He might want your phone. So I think tactically, you have to be aware of your surroundings and use whatever weapons you have in that context. But the weapons that you have is things that you learn. And like you said, the person comes to you and says, I want to learn to defend myself. They have to make different choices than if it's sport, karate, or sport, kung fu. It's totally different, isn't it?
You see, this is something you put in very interesting way. I always say to people, when you get out your door of your four wall of your house, you have to prepare for war. What I'm trying to tell you is my mindset in a war zone Vietnam, in a danger environment, even though I came into England, my mindset never changed. Regardless where you are, you're still in a jungle. So you have to prepare for every unexpected stuff. The goal of anything to be learning to understand is about preparation. Before you walk out the door, you need to know the clothes you wear, is it suitable for you to move and able to use properly? The shoe you wear, can you run with it? If you're going to carry for the concealed weapon or improvised weapon or certain element in your body, is it more to be used in a tactical way in multiple things? Without this thinking in mind, when you're traveling, you will have problem because you don't know what is it happen in your journey. Because everyone they come out for different reasons. They come out to have fun. Some people come out try to hurt people. Somebody come out have a reason for coming out, and you just basically fall into that environment. I will tell people time, place, and the method of attack. It depends on the time where you are, place where you end up, and the method of that person trying to attack you. And if you're going to get in the wrong place in the wrong time, you will have problem. For you to get out of any situation awareness is very important. But the most important of all is understand about surprise, speed, and violence of action. If you don't understanding that basic thing, you won't able to get out because your enemy using the same method in you. Okay, that surprise you, they create a fast speed, so you overwhelm you, and then they come in with so much violence, you don't know what to do. And then they get away, you will be there, sit there and think, what is going on? So learning this, of course, TT, tactical training, like you just mentioned, it's not about tactical in the combat into the military. You can use it because it's just a form of thinking. Okay, it's a foundation of thinking. You can apply to everything you do. You see, you can apply to everything you do in life. When you have this framework, the mindset, then everywhere you go, you understand it. You see before it happens, because if you walk out, you look at people, you see something not right, you're fully engaged, boom, something wrong. Then you already have plan A, plan B, what is it? When I talk about this online, that's why I don't talk about this a lot online on my channel, is because people don't understand this. When you get engaged in a situation, it basically, you're compromised. It's too late, okay?
Yes.
You can try to get away with things. You try to survive out of an ocean, you are drowning. First, it's never get in the ocean that you can't swim in the first place, okay? Because
Yes,
if you
yes.
get in there and try to swim your way out, yes, you can. A lot of time, more than likely, the odds against you. So like sometimes when you see a lot, because we do them a lot online, oh, somebody choked you. How do you get out of that? If you're already been choked, you're compromised already. That means you're done. Just understand this basic rule, okay? Because you got to think like this. But online, when you talk like this, it became problem. People don't understand it. But when I'm teaching people through this journey with them, when they came to train with me personally, this is why they need the preparation, understand them earlier, very earlier on everything they're doing. Okay. Of course, this is why it's called preventing better than cure. You have to prevent it happening, not wait for it happen and then try to fix things. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
And it's very interesting because when you say a lot of your early training was based around street fights and things like this, whereas for an awful lot of people in the modern world might train in a boxing gym, some kind of dojo, they learn all of these techniques. Now, if they came from a street fighting world before, they have a different attitude, a different mindset. But a lot of people have to get that sharp shock of maybe getting a punch in the face and then realizing, now let's see, does your training work? But in your context, you were training on the streets. You were testing it every day as you were learning it. So very quickly, I imagine you realized what worked and what didn't work.
Very true. You see, when I'm younger in Vietnam, my master taught me, when I go through any form of training, he will put you into the test task. And the test task, if you are okay, then you're able to come back to it. If you're not, you get injured, then it's tough shit for you because you have to learn through this. Because the whole idea, as you know, in the war-torn Vietnam, is many people just like myself. I want to be different. Okay, I want to stand out. I want to be someone that able to come back home alive. And this is why your mindset thinking is on overdrive. Okay, I don't go to school. Why? Because I got bullied in school a lot, so I don't go to school, and I never learn things in school. So I learn things in the street. I learn about wheeling and dealing in the street. I learn about people. I learn about reading people very, very young. I know the hostile or not hostile. So everything I'm doing is very different to the normal person. So give you an example. If you go out and I see people, what is it you are trying to do? If I want to hurt you, I'm not going to wait for you to know that I'm going to hurt you. I go in, I will hurt you, and you won't know that I will hurt you. Do you understand that? You'll be done before I get to you. You're done. Okay, you're done, basically. So you have to understanding this basic rule. The rule is somebody want to hurt you, they're not going to square you in front of your face and ready to fight. Okay? When that happens, it's too damn late. You don't want to do this movement, that movement. The quickest way to take somebody down is only two areas: throw or coming down, and then on the floor out. Okay? But you have to realize that we live in the first world country. It's got consequences. You have to understand that where I live in a war-torn Vietnam, it's no consequence. You come out, and if you open your mouth with me and try to argue with me, I cut your throat, and that's done. Okay?
Yeah.
Finished.
Yeah.
If you coming in and give me some eyeball, I break your leg and breaking your neck in front of your kid. Done. It's no consequence because you the one create the problem and you will get this reaction. But when we're in the Western world, very different. For me to get my head around it when I came over here, it's like, give you an example. I came to the UK when I'm 11. First day at school, I in the school because I don't know any English. So they go in the school. I go to the toilet because everybody out there in a cubicle go to toilets. So I got nowhere to go. So I thought, oh, fucking hell, nowhere to go. So I see somebody using a water, small water for drinking water, quite small. So I thought that's what is it using for pissing. So I go in and pissing on there. Then they're surrounding me. And I said, what the hell are you doing? I don't know any English at all. Surround me, beat me up. And because of my training and my mentality when I'm in Vietnam, all I'm thinking about is another world I live in, fully time come. Pick them up, take them in the toilet inside the cubicle in the toilet, smack them all in, put them in there, flush the toilet, chaos everywhere, and got expelled from the school the first day. So what they're telling me? What they're telling me is to get my head to understanding this world and this world we live in to transfer across. It's very difficult. So I got to slowly educate myself to understand that we live in a world now. It's not where we're living before. We're living before is called a jungle. The jungle, everything is animal. We live in a world now, it's more peasant, more better. So when we do anything, we have to have the way of understanding and consequences. Because over here, if I do anything, I go to jail. You see, it's a big problem. So you have to understand the differences. If you don't understand the difference, it's a nightmare. You see a lot of people online now talk about weapons, talk about using this, using that. We already understand that from the day we born, learn how to hurt people, learn how to, this is born in our DNA. We don't need somebody to tell you, here's the knife, you need to stab on somebody's head, and then you made a twist into it so you know you kill them. Or here's the knife, stab somebody in the heart, and then you kill them. This is, don't need to be educated. What you did, you're helping the people want to do this to the good people. Okay, that's what you're doing. You didn't helping the people want to really want to learn how to preventing this. You understand what I'm saying? And this is where I can't get back. That's why you see me online. I'm never talking about very deep in this kind of stuff because it's nightmare. Because people don't get it. They don't understand it. You see?
Like I always say, it's an expression I always use. In order to have the light, you have to have the darkness, right? And it's like the whole yin and yang thing. One thing is eating the other, but you have to keep a balance between that, because if we live our life and we're always in the light, we're never ready for the dark. And if we live always in the dark, we're never ready for the light. So you have to have that balance, because there's a famous expression, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. And that's very true, because you can be a peaceful person and you can be a person who goes out of the way to help people. But in a time of crisis or in a time of need or great violence, if you are able to turn to those skills you have and that mentality to be a warrior, it's a great thing. And I think nowadays they're trying to make everybody into a gardener. And it's a wrong thing to do, because we will have situations where we have to defend our kids, our family, and we won't have the capacity.
You got that just right, especially what's going on in the world right now. The problem is like this. Sometimes we live in this world that have been free brainwashed. That's why we go to schools. We don't want to go into this kind of discussion. But the problem is people don't understand the difference. The goal of any human being, any one of our soul in this planet, is understanding the differences. The differences, when you understand, you make choices. Because you don't understand about it, when people tell you certain things, you think that is how. If you turn around, you mentioned something like, just interesting, just say, to become the warrior, okay? Like yin and yang, dark and light, you want to be in the middle. People don't understand it. I want to be dark or I want to be light. I want in the middle. They don't understand it. They don't understand what is it you try to tell them, because you don't understand themselves. When they're understanding themselves, understanding that they go through the experience they go through, Then they can make their choices when to be dark and when to be light and when to be in between. We, as a human being, have three kind of person live in us. One of them is very combative. When people we don't know someone, very combative. We worry about them, very combative. When we were our family, we became ourselves again. That means we live all these things outside. That means we don't be combative with our family. We very become ourselves, personal. Then when we become a little bit more compassionate, little bit, then we become very yin, very low. So then people take advantage of us, you see, because you don't know any different. So we are living in this world in a free person, in a one person perspective. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand it different when you become combative, and when you not become combative, and when you become more emotional. Because if we don't have emotional, okay, and we don't have this, then we're not human anymore. So we need to have that. So we need to know the differences to be able to flow from one to another, okay? If you don't know how to flow from one to another, then you always become very dark, very combative. Everything is combative. Everybody say something, you attack. You don't sit there thinking about, did they say something? Is it interesting? What is there for you to learn and understand? And if when you then you don't know the difference. With your family, you became the same person again. Very combative. When your kids say something, you start to attacking them, or you start to attacking them towards they are attacking you. So now two of you sit there fighting, and then emotional. When your family together got problem, no emotion because you're thinking none of my business. This is not me. I'm a warrior. I gotta be strong. Then you're not human no more. This is very important to understanding this basic concept as a human being. When you understand this concept, then you know the difference. This is important for people to come to find someone to learn from. They have to teach them to understand about themselves, okay? Because you're the one that made the decision. You're the one that have to choose between doing this or don't. Nobody can for you, okay? My job as a mentor, as a master, guide you through the journey, understanding you as the person and let you make choices. This is why we're here. We live in this world that God give us choice. Every action we make is our choice, okay? When you let people make choice for you, that's when you have problems. That's when you have chaos. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah?
Yes.
So that's where we are at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And when we go back to your actual martial arts training, was it a combination of Kung Fu and Wing Chun? Did you go to different trainers, instructors, and Sifus and so on? How did you choose what you were going to learn? Or you didn't have a choice?
So in my life, I have only three main masters. One of them when young, Master Chen, teaching me about Wing Chun side, tactical self-defense, tactical the training, mindset, principle, strategy. Okay, in Vietnam training. Then I met another Master Lin, teaching me about meditation, eating, Qigong training, understand about yin yang nutrition. Because what happening is I go through a lot of problem, bullying, so a lot of hate into me. That's why when I send you my book, you really understand when you read it because it's easier. And then what happening is because I got a lot of things happening in my head, it has too much hate in me when I'm young, so much hate. You know, it's like so much hate. And then Master Lin coming in to help me to balance that to become more yin, okay? Yin and yang. So there got to be Master Chen is more yang. It's hard, everything hard because he come from that environment. Then Master Lin is helping me to balance it to more yin, to more balancing, to helping me to become a little bit more better as a person. Then I met Master Lee. Then he combined everything together in a tactical way, in a way of using for like what we're using now, online, tactical for mentorship, for entrepreneur, because he's a businessman. So he understands all that. So that's where all my training is. So when I learn Wing Chun, Tai Chi, and tactical training, okay, combining together in my training system called the KT3. KT standing for knowledge transfer, tactical training, transformation. Free is free master that I can contribute my training system to free of my master. You see?
Very good.
And that is free of my master that I'm learning from. That's where my training and learning and my influence from the training.
Yes. And in a lot of styles over the years, people kind of learn what's in the style and they go and learn another style and then maybe they can combine them. But obviously, when you're learning Wing Chun and you're doing Tai Chi, but also as you're using it when you were younger on the street, you're doing techniques that come from other styles. And sometimes it's even unknowingly because the great thing about martial arts in general, from all the styles, whether it be Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, whether it be Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, there's so many good things in each one. But nowadays, people are combining them, but not in the way that they need to survive. It's more for curiosity and maybe sport, you know?
Very interesting question you have there. Yeah. A lot of people like to blend anything. It's just like you making the cocktail. If you are the expert in cocktail, understand and mix different spirit together to become a good cocktail for a
Yes.
specific client, then you
Yes.
are a very good technical person. But when you don't understand about cocktail maker, then you
Yes.
put everything together and it sounds good and just down on it, and you don't understand the consequence, then you are shit tactical person. Yeah.
I
So
understand.
learning in
Yeah.
a martial art exactly the same way. Everything you're learning is have to have a flow. Okay, because every master teach you, they have a different concept, different mindset, different principle, different background, different upbringing that want to influence into you. If you don't understand in the basic of that, then you influence into you all sort of stuff. Then you try to make something up. Then you're making something up with all sort of stuff. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then what happening is go back to you as a person that you thinking, okay, I need to using this in this experience. This is work for me. So now you bring all what it work for you because you bring all the technique what work for you in here, and you create your own. But that particular your own style, it work only for you because you bring through all this experience that you go through the training, that technique, it work for you. But the other person, it don't work for them because they don't have
Right.
the same experience as you have. So that technique,
Yeah.
it don't work for you. For
Yeah.
learning, for
It's the
teaching,
foundation. It's the foundation because the person who learns all those styles and combines them, they have the foundation.
yes,
But for the next person, they don't have the foundation.
yes. So for teaching someone, you always, like you just mentioned, just something interesting there is foundation. You teach them called basic principle. Okay, the basic principle. When they understand this basic principle, they can able to combine themselves what work for them. You have
Yeah.
to understand every martial art technique that's similar. Like Bruce Lee always say, it's the kick and it's the punch. That's all that when it only got two hands and two legs, you only move in certain way. It's no other
Yeah.
way you can move that is different. Only different is what you learn and how you apply them in to your training and what you use that training for. I have a special training for tactical for when people go in and dealing with tactical. I have a way for them to do that. If people want to using weapon, I have a way for them to using that because it's fit into their environment, because the stuff
Yes.
they're using on them. Okay? Because
Yes.
you cannot certainly hold a gun out if you never train on a gun. You're never able to using the weapon if you never touching the weapon before. You're never able to use them in a way that you want to use it. Okay? So all of the weapon is an extension of your hand. But your hand have to understanding all the basic of the basic combat first. Okay? When you understand the basic combat, then all this weapon you're using, you are attached to them. When you attach to your body, then you can able to wield them when you need them. But it depends on what you use them for. It's like go to the army. If you're a tactical person into the special force, or you're explosive, or you are the high tech, what are you? So you are specialized in one area,
Yeah.
but you're also able to using every one of the specific thing, but not very good at it, but you are able to neutralize all of them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
For people to learn something, principle exactly the same way. Okay, for them to understand it. If you understand this basic, then your life will become easier.
Of course, yeah. And what are the common misconceptions about martial arts in general that you encounter, and how do you address them to your students?
I think a lot of time when we're dealing with depend, I when I'm teaching women, especially on this, when I'm teaching women self-defense,
Yes.
I'm teaching very different to the men. Okay? Because woman is not trained like the man. And woman don't get in the situation like the man. Okay? So their mindset is very different. You cannot force against force. Woman is yin. Okay? Man is yang. So woman is everything happen to them. Nobody in their right mindset see the woman and then they come and just punch him in the face and smack the face in. No such thing as that happen.
Yeah.
So only thing that happen is people assaulting them, assaulting the woman, or try to take advantage of her. Do you understand that? So your thinking is very different. You have to be very tactical and you have to be very Sun Tzu kind of style, deception.
Evasion and deception.
Yeah. So without that, you won't able to get your mind in the right place to able to deal with the situation you're in. You see? Because you're thinking like always fist against fist, like fighting like that, but it don't happen like that. So for men, it's very different. Okay? Then learning is very different. So for women, their only learning thing is good is for like certain part of the body, elbow, okay? Big part of the body, kicking. That kind of technique is more suitable for her because that way they don't break in their fist. For women, when they're punching, it breaking their fist. They cannot open the key. They cannot get into the door. They cannot drive away. They can't grab things. So it's bad, okay? So this is why women learn the self-defense is completely different to the men learn self-defense. Men can learn it in a many different way, but women have to be quite specific.
Right, very good. Yeah, that makes sense because they're coming from a different angle totally. And whereas the man is more offensive, the woman in general is more needs to be more defensive. So it's totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, because you think about this, for the men, if you're coming out, something happened, you need square to be ready to do the thing. But for the woman, something happened. You said, "Oh, don't hurt me. Why you want to do? No, I don't. Please don't." And then after when you see the opening and you need to move, and see this I get a lot. Sometimes people say, "Oh, if you do that, they still come attack you. What you doing? You're not naive. You're pretending to be naive."
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You woman, you have to understand when you're teaching people's martial art, is have to look at their traits of their personality. Woman is able to very good at manipulating and very good at able to. That's why men they can manipulate men like this. Okay, they can do everything to you. Using what their core of their species is, using that to helping them. Men is very, what do you call that? Everything is active. Everything is something happen. You just go, gung ho. Why all the war in the world is men go out and try to see who got the biggest gun. For women, you don't do that. So for women learning, the mindset have to be completely different. Okay, without that mindset, she's not gonna able to survive later on. It's not it's not to say that woman cannot be the man. You can be anybody you want. No problem. But for you to become better at your job, or better at the woman as the way that God built you, then this is why you have to try and learn specific way to helping you. Okay, and this is why the difference is when you start to learning the transition from this to this is slightly different. So when I'm teaching women in my class, it's very different to men when I'm teaching in the class.
Right, very good.
But the thing is, want to add on, a lot of times but when you're dealing with a woman, but a lot of time men gonna attacking you. So why is different? The difference is the way you're thinking. That's the difference.
That's the difference. Yeah, it's coming from a different angle. Yeah, and it's a very good way of looking at it because it's kind of like the animal world. Different animals have different ways of attacking and defending. And some animals are very good at defending, so much so that they're dangerous. No?
Yes. Dangerous to themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dangerous. That's why the soft and hard. That's why go yin and yang. When they come in hard, you need to be soft. When they be soft, then they be hard. This is the base. And the thing is, I always tell people, whatever I'm teaching, whatever I'm doing, I always mention on my stuff, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. You have to be able to blend from everything you're doing into whatever you're doing. So for me, for instance, what I'm teaching is on a KT3 method called a knowledge transfer. It's understanding about what you've been learning into the martial art, how the crossover to health, how the crossover to wealth building, how the crossover to relationship. How is it?
Yes.
How the L to this? Okay, how is it happen? So when you're understanding that, then anything you're learning is contribute and enriching your skill set to make it more and more better. You know, your repertoire is a lot more better and it's not more richer. So every time you engage, instead of into the fighting, you engage on negotiation. You understand
Right.
about how to engage in negotiation. You understand about relationship. When you understand about when you're dealing relationship with your family, how you're using this in your relationship. You understand about health, how to understanding what you've been training in the past to help. I find a lot of people, what they do, they're learning when there are a lot of skill set, very skillful, regardless what is a martial art, it's a very good skill set. But when it came to the reality world to do things like into health, wealth, relationship, they've got a problem. Why? Because none of this is transfer over to this. None
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Okay? None.
Yes. Yes.
So what's happening now, you live in a world of fiction and you live in a world of non-fiction, then you cannot cross over.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? This
Yes.
is where the big problem is. Because why do you want to learn something and you cannot be used at all? You cannot be crossed over the use because the whole purpose about art came into this world is about experience. Is that right? Experience
Yes.
of learning and transfer to something else that we go on to the next experience to
Exactly.
learn,
Yeah.
transfer the experience. You understand what I'm
It's
saying?
a skill set. Yes, it's a
This is
skill.
the
Like
skill set.
we all have different things. We can take skills from one area of life and adapt them to something else, can't we? To
Yes,
improve it.
yes.
Yeah.
Without
Yes.
that, then you're wasting a lot of your time to learn things because you cannot learn everything and you cannot know everything. It's like
No.
Bruce Lee
No.
always say, you better learn one kick 1,000 times. But when you learn that kick well, you can translate that kick to the many different kicks that you want. Not when they say one kick, it doesn't mean that only one kick like this.
Yeah.
It's the principle of the kick. Okay, the
Yes.
principle. That's what he's trying to telling people. It's like he said, be like water, my friend. What do you mean be like water? Flexible, adaptable, blending, adapted to everything and anything. When the water
Yes.
go to the teapot, became the teapot. When the water go into the clock, became the clock. You blend yourself in whatever you want to be blend. This is what
Yes.
people
Yes.
don't understanding martial art as a whole in the first place. Martial art learning is teach you to become more tactical, okay? More tactical, technician, okay, in life.
Yes.
You see, that's
Yes.
what is it, yeah? And when you
Yeah.
understand that, then you can bring it into everything else that you do. You see, you don't learn this in a martial art school. You go in there, this the kick, this the punch. Why I want to do that for? I don't know. You just go and do it.
Yes.
If you don't know something, then it's no point doing it because end of the day, you just don't how to use them effectively for your life. Like
Right.
all the time I get this question, people turn around and say, yeah, but that's what happened to me. I can get in a fight. Ask yourself this question. When you learn martial for 40, 50 years, how many times ever you get yourself in the fight in a life and death situation?
It very rarely happens. And
Exactly.
the
So
thing,
now you're
yeah.
asking yourself, all this 40 years of your training cannot transfer over to everything else you do. What the waste of
Yes.
time.
And for you, then, what are some good daily practices you recommend for kind of maintaining that balance between the yin and yang energies? What are good things?
So few things you have to realize. For me, I'm older a little bit now. As you're older, okay, you have to look after your health. The health comes first. So you need to look after your body. The first thing in the morning, I normally do called oil pulling. You know, oil pulling. Yeah, for
Yes.
your body. Oil pulling, drinking water, hot water in the morning, not hot, but so like hot enough. Because when you're sleeping and all your intestine is built up all the shit, you need to drink hot water to come down. So that when you go for the shit, then that helping you to clean your system. Okay?
Right.
Then you have to drink enough water in the morning to helping your body to lubricate all your joints. Okay? Then you go and do the stretching, all the different stretching to helping your body using Tai Chi and fitness training to stretching all your joints, and then using Tai Chi and meditation to balance from hot to soft. balance them out. Then you have in the right mindset in the day for you to do all your tasks, whatever you need to do in your task. Without understanding this basic rule, then it's going to be the problem for you as you move forward. Don't eat junk food. Get away with 4 basic white devil, not white man devil. White devil meaning that sugar, table sugar, poison. Don't put that into your mouth. Okay. If you start to have a lot of white flour, bread, pasta, all this stuff, it messes out all your joint. And then you got table salt, table salt for using.
Table salt,
That's only for bonding dead people. So don't put that in your food. Don't poison yourself. Okay? And don't drink milk, not organic milk, pasteurized milk. Okay? So when it's been killed already, the milk, don't put that in your body because when you put it on, they mess up all your joint. And when you're getting older, all your joint getting hurt and ache and problem with that. And that's where you got problem when you're getting older. And that's when you see everybody getting older, oh, my back is hurting me, or oh, my knees hurting me. It's because of your bad habit, okay? That you are doing. Throughout the training, this is why I'm saying training in the martial art, throughout this, the goal is maintain your body is a temple. Maintain them. Not you go in there and try to breaking the board and breaking that and then mess up your hand and then you never fix it. When you're getting older, also, oh yeah, I once upon a time I can break a brick, but now I can't. The most of the time you need your hand is when you're getting older. That is when people want to hit you, want to hurt you, because you're vulnerable. Now you put yourself in that situation now that you get beat up because you don't aware of all these basic principles. That is my habit that people need to be aware and learn and get your mind in the right place. If your mind body not in line, then your life is going to be a problem.
Okay, very good. And then when we talk about the KT3 system, what role does mentorship play in that system for you?
Okay, so this is again very interesting. If people come to me to asking about the training for mentorship, I'm coaching a lot of company director, people like all different kind of background. It doesn't matter what background you are. In the 3 area I apply into you. First area is knowledge transfer, meaning whatever knowledge I possess or whatever knowledge I have already, that I can transfer to you to make your life and make your job a lot more effective and a lot more better. If your life, certain knowledge you didn't got, I will be able to help you to transfer them across to you in the way that you can make it practical into your day-to-day life. Tactical, TT, tactical thing, any form of learning you need to have. I got to look at what you got first. What is it, your background? Then I can apply my tactical, go to what your daily news or to your goal. What is it your goal is? If you're in a company, want to run a company bigger, you need to have a lot of tactical mindset, a lot of strategy, a lot of that. So I will helping you to apply all this into your training, into your day-to-day life to make your job a lot more effective. Okay, T3, transformation growth. I will make you the transformation you from whatever I teach you to make you become the better tactical, better KT3, okay, better mindset, better principle, and then apply you into the 4 area, health, wealth, and relationship. Teach you to understand about your health, help you to able to make sure your health is good, look after your health, understand about your wealth, not just about money. Money is one thing. It's called a spiritual wealth. Spiritual wealth, what you do from your heart to helping others. Okay? Then relationship with yourself to make sure you're in line with yourself and relationship with others. If you're not in line with yourself, you're not going to be in line with nobody else's. Okay? So that's what I transfer them across to them into the KT3 system mindset to help them to able pursuing what they want to pursue in their life.
I mean, it makes sense. And for you then, because, you know, from all your years of teaching and from all your years of mentoring, everything, for you then as a person yourself, when you have difficult times in your life, whether it be, we all have to deal with our mental health, we all have to deal with family issues, we all have to deal with successes and failures in our life. For you, when you're in a position where you're mentoring people to be the best they can be, to live in the light, but to understand the darkness, for you, when the darkness comes, what do you do? who do you turn to? Do you look to the inspiration from your masters, or do you look to other people to help you heal?
For me, it's very simple. Like you mentioned, everyone have problem. My master would teach me something very interesting. Outside is chaos. You need to come inside to be more peaceful. When it starts to be peaceful, your soul start to talk to you. So you spend more time meditation, quiet, to understanding your soul start to teach you and take you through the journey you need to go. You don't look outside to find someone else's problem and bring it to you, because their problem or their inspiration is not matching you, because they don't understanding your problem. You have to go inside your head. When you're quiet, spend time meditation, you will start to understand what you need to do, because you have a higher self. Your higher self only talk to you when you're quiet. Okay, when you're in a quiet time on yourself, that's when they start to talk to you. You start to learn it and understand. That's why I say before, if you don't know yourself, then everyone can influence you and put you in all directions. That's why you go, oh, I got inspiration from this person, that person. But you don't realize that person got all sort of fucking shit of themselves. They haven't sorted out yet. They just want to talk about things. But this is why I mentioned the way you do anything is the way you do anything. People talk about things, but they don't apply to themselves. They talk about it because it's like, I tell you, but I don't do it. What I tell you to do, but I don't do it. You have to live with it and learn through the experience. And only you can know about you and teaching you, because you know your ability, you know your mindset. Someone else can install that into you, but this is only you believing in yourself enough to accept that belief before you become, say, I know who I am. But this is how somebody tells you that you can't do it. But truthfully inside you, you cannot do it. I look at it a lot because my master teach me into the Chinese I Ching and numerology and all this about human psyche. You can do many things that people tell you in that moment, but in the core, in your core, don't have that, okay? Because everyone came in this world, their core have a certain uniqueness about them, okay? Uniqueness about them that other people don't have. That's why you're special. That's why every human being is special. Because special, you have to tap into that particular you to know what you're able and your capabilities, so you can understand it. I can do this or I can't do this. Then you need to understand that by looking deeply inside. Only way to look deeply inside that people cannot influence you is you have to be quiet. You have to be silent, and then you sit there, and that will be bringing it into you. More you know about yourself, the better you understand how to fix yourself, because only you can fix you. No one can. But if somebody say they can fix you, they're all pretending to yourself they can fix you. How can you fix somebody if you don't understanding them? You only can fix you because you know your problem.
Yes, I understand. You're the real solution.
You're the real solution.
Yeah, you're the real solution to yourself.
Somebody else's can influence you while they're understanding you. If they're understanding you, the core of you, then they can influence the core, okay? And influence you. If they don't understand your core of your the person, they cannot influence. They can partial telling you, and you think sound good. That's why people say, I want to do something, but then they never stick with it. Why? Because your core never have that in the first place. You just sound good because life is influenced by the people surround you. The people surround you influence you and make you to be that person, but you'll never be that person. That's why you see somebody say, you change a lot. Why did you change a lot? You'll never be like that, because they want to be fit into the environment they are. But the real them, when they're on themselves, they go back to themselves. You see, they became themselves because it's more comfortable now. You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
You have to know who you are.
Yeah, and then for you, how do you measure success in your teachings and in your personal achievements? What is success for you?
For me, success is just happy. Happiness is success. Don't bring any kind of material thing into your life and using that as a success. Because you have to realize something interesting. You came in this world naked, and you will go away naked. So what you're going to be in this time you're here is have to be happy of what you try to do. understanding what is your purpose to be here and what you try to do. When you're understanding that, you became more happy person, and everything will be fall around it for you to strengthen it for you. If
Yes.
if you're not happy, and if you're using money or if you're using material thing to make sure you're happy, if you say you got 5 million, make you happy, then somebody got 20 million, so that means you're unhappy. You understand?
Yeah.
So don't
Yeah.
ever using that. Never look at other person and oh, I want to be their life. It's their life, not your life. You want to be in your life to make your life the best that you can be and as happy as you can. That is it. Success is all about happiness. Happily for yourself, happiness with your family around you, and you're doing make them a good example. And when you left here, left in this particular world, people can remember what you left behind and what they can learn of you. When you go away, that way you will have a lot of called spiritual money. A lot of things will open up for you. Because when you're away, go away, that you can't carry gold with you. You understand? The much
No,
you
exactly.
got a freaking ton of gold. That don't mean nothing. It's about spiritual wealth. And that spiritual wealth is only if you are affecting another human being. If you are affecting another human being, then another human being talk about you, mention you, give their praise into you, then you will be open gateway for you to go. Without that, my friend, you will be end up where you are here. So
Yeah.
life
It's
is very
about
simple.
it's about legacy, really, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
It's
What
about
you left
legacy.
behind. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how you gonna left that legacy behind to influence people in the ways that for generations to come.
For you in your life, moving to the UK and then through your teachings and working with so many different cultures, what's the biggest challenge you've faced in spreading your teachings globally?
I think it's the most difficult part, like
Language.
you see, when I'm talking to you, I write a lot of stuff, but my my language, my word, the collaboration, the word is only certain amount. Okay, I don't use it certain like the large of the word that I'm using to make it sound good and all this bollock stuff.
Yeah.
So my word limit is very limit, so that way that common people can understand easily.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, I
In my
understand.
written, the similar way, I try to make it more simple so people can understand. The idea is whatever you are in different part of the world, they cannot understanding certain word. The more simple little bit, the better for them to understand. And it go back to culture. Okay, each country, each country you're in, the culture is very different. So certain thing you are using, like for me, is have to be crossed over for their culture to be able to understand that. And that's the hardest thing, is their culture is not the same as my culture. So for me, talk about my past life in Vietnam, it's giving them the concept, the idea. I'm come out from something so bad, I can make something better here. For you,
Right.
you have a better chance. It's a metaphor. It's a way of parallel that I've been through this, I can do it. So can you. You have the more better chance than me. I got kicked out of school when I'm very young, and I got no education, and I can do so many things. You can do it. I can show you the way. You have much more information and much more tools than I have when my time. So this is just a parallel to let people understand that how they can stand up, how they can be better, and how they can improve themselves. If you can improve
Right.
yourself, you can improve other person. If you're not improve yourself, you won't be able to improve other person, because one person affect another person. You see, because when you feel good, when you feel happy, when you feel you got everything that you have, then you want to give the other person the same concept.
Yes, no, I understand. And let's talk about your move then into the modern world of social media and spreading your message through social media. Because 20 years ago, the teachings of a martial art master were very different and you were very limited to your surroundings. But nowadays, you can spread that message globally through all of these platforms. But with that, also, there's negative points to that as well. The world is built on having so many followers and everything. So when you look at the success of someone with lots of followers, there are obviously things that come with that too that you would rather avoid. So how has that journey been of stepping into the social aspect?
I find that online, when I start YouTube, it's just open. when I start. It just started. So everything a little bit more easier for me to do that time, because not many people, just like myself, very little. Now everything and everyone do the same thing. So to go into that environment, transition into that environment now is a lot more different, because my message now is not the same as before. The message before is sort of about fighting, it's sort of about doing stuff, and it's slightly different because I'm younger a little bit that time, you know. Now my message now is a little bit more different, okay, toward more coaching mindset, because I'm older now. I'm 50 odd now. I'm older now. So I want to spend 30 years or 40 years of my life now more educate the youngster and educate their brain more than their fist. You understand what I'm saying? So now I have a lot of different competition that come into my life, because I know competition with martial arts people into the social media. I competition to all the coaches, mentor, mindset. Okay, my challenge now completely different than before. But that don't stop me, because I call it knowledge transfer, KT. I transfer all my skill set from what I've done in the past to the new things that I'm doing. Okay, because I'm transferred toward that. So now my challenge is very difficult. You are talking in a way of people educating people into the mindset. You see what I mean? Not educate people in the fist now. Yeah. So I'm still using a martial art mindset to bring it in to a personal development environment. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right, I do.
This is where now for me it's another hurdle, another what you call challenge for me to go through now. Okay, before I've done all the things I need to do. Now it's another hurdle. That's why I spend a lot of time writing. Okay, do a lot of writing, because before I don't write, I don't do that. Now I spend a lot of time writing, a lot of book, a lot of things, because people want to ask you about my training or philosophy mindset. If I explain to you, you hear them, I said, oh yeah, and you forget. Come in one year, come another year. But when I'm writing, for you to come into coaching with me, do the coaching with me, you need to read. So because you read, you're on your own. That's why when you're quiet, your soul speak to you. When you read, the word will enhance you, will helping you to start to fix your brain cell, to make sure they're in line and understand, and then translate to make sense to you. Because that's when you're vulnerable. You feel that coming to you. You feel that, now it makes sense to you. Then it's easier for me to start take you to next journey, coaching, because you're already receiving all this information subconsciously already. Okay? This is the difference. Before, it's all to do with physical and all to do with visual, movement, bang, all this stuff. But now it's have to be mental. So this is why it's not a big challenge for me to go through this. When I'm sending you this book to read and stuff like that, you understand a bit more about it.
And on the subject of your books, when did you write the first book, and what made you decide I want to write a book about my life and then obviously create these other books? When was that?
So this is when I'm writing first one about my life, because everybody asking about who are you? Where did you come from? Who teach you? All this stuff, it's many. And I don't like to talk about online, because when they talk about online, they don't see the big picture. They only see a very small thing. Oh, he say that, or he say this, and they're taking very small chunk of it, and then they are made their own conclusion already. So then I sit there and I think to myself, what I'm going to do? I'm going to write the first book, this one here, okay, and then I update them later, so people can get an idea. So I get them to start off to go into this kind of offer, go into learn about writing, understand. I don't know how to write. As you know, I've just come to school. So I need to learn that, understand it, because I transfer knowledge. I'm learning new skill here, okay? Not from fighting, but now a completely different skill set that I need to take it in to become somebody different, to be able to move into next level. That's when I start writing my first book, to let people understand about myself a bit more. Soon I understand that, they start to write more into my program, okay, different program. And writing the program, different program, they have to have an idea of how they can link them together. It's not random stuff. It have to be able to link, apply, and everything you're doing from training day to day to everything you do in your life, from whatever you do, try to do. You see, they have to be in conclusion with it. And that's where my journey is 2000, and I think it's on 19, not a 2000, it's in 2019. That's when I'm the first one. This one, okay, 2019. So that's when my first book And then I start to write those different one then, because the problem is like this. When you start to coaching, people just say, oh, can you coach me? And you hear about somebody coaching, yeah? But if I don't see how your coach, how your style of coaching or what your coaching all about, how do I know how you're going to coach me?
You have
So
to know if it's a good fit.
yes, exactly. So this is why I write all this book, because then you read it, then you think, wow, that is relate to me.
Yeah.
That he understanding me. He know what I'm talking about. It's the same way as I do in the martial art. I go online and do all the movement, and you look at it. I like that movement fit me well. Yeah. So you come to train with me because you visually see it. But when you're coaching, you don't see it. You have to read. You have to understand about the person,
It's
the
a
mindset.
reference. It's a reference.
It's different. So that's why I write a lot of books for when I'm coaching. So people can, before you come to learn from me, I always say, coaching, what sort of thing you like to do? Oh, okay, then read about it. So your stuff will be similar to this kind of things that way I'm going to coach you. Is that fitting you the idea first? Yes, then we can move on. Without that, then no, I can't move on because I don't know what you want. I don't know what you need. And I don't know how I can help you. How can I help you? I don't know how I can help you yet. You see? So this is why I do a lot of writing.
Brilliant. What future projects or expansions are we going to see from you and from the KT3 system?
So at the minute, I'm doing the coaching, like I'm saying, coaching everything I'm doing now, all my mentee, I help them to write their own book. Every mentee. So like everybody I coach, I help them to write their own book. Because that particular coaching I guide them through is in the book themselves, their journey. Okay? That way, when they're fall short or they've got a problem, they don't need to come see me again. Because all your problem is already here. It's already been in the book that you've written in your journey. It's just like this. The way I look at this like this, I don't want to be a doctor that's surprising pill to you. I want to come into your life, help you to fix you. Okay? So you don't need to come and see me again. Then you have to help to fix yourself. Help you to fix yourself, I need to teach you the strategy and everything else. So in that particular journey, you go back to that particular journey. In that time, you already done that. You already done that. I repoint, then you start to go through the same thing you already done. Because only for you to know the difference and you know that you've done it is you have reference. That reference you got is the reference you've done in the book because you're doing it. You see what I'm saying? So every mentee, I take them through the journey, regardless about martial art, business, weight loss, health, fighting career, don't matter. They all have a journey with me. In that journey, they have their own book. So every one of them finished, like they have their own one.
Wow, that's really cool.
Because of that, if I gonna coaching you, for instance, I said, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to be social media. I already got the student already go through that with me. So I said, here, this is the one I just done. Read through that. Is it in line? Yes. So then I know exactly what you want now, and I will tailor around you to fit your journey and take you through the journey with me.
Very good. That's very good and very clever as well, you know. So, I mean, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's like very insightful, and there's great depth to your conversation because you're talking about things that are very important and that people are forgetting. We have to take the stuff from the old masters and from the old teachers and apply it in a modern world because we're kind of getting lost in this world nowadays where people don't have the same values and they don't realize that you still have to have some of the old teachings, don't you?
Yes, without the old teaching, then you don't know who you are. You have to know who you are. That's why we call the oldest. That's why you always listen to the oldest because they have been through the journey you haven't been before. My master always told me, like, when I'm very young, you either learn by get in the situation and get killed, or learn mistakes from somebody already get killed, and you look at it, you learn from the mistake, so you don't get in the same mistake again. So if you're clever, you learn from someone else's. Okay? If you are super intelligent, you never get in that situation. But if you're stupid, then you go and try them out and see it work for you. So if you're stupid, you go and try that out. But if you're clever, you look at them and say, no, this is not fit me, and I know what I need to do. So depend who you are, depend who you are. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you can see this in life, classic in life a lot. I'm mentoring somebody at the moment. They have 4 marriage breakdown, 4 marriage divorce,
okay,
because I got to
right.
fix their marriage problem, 7, 8 kids, and they go through the same pattern again. And I said, do you ever learn through your mistake?
Yeah.
Seem like you never learn from your mistake. You always want to try that. I said, next time will be different. It's the same thing because you never get out of your comfort zone to try something different. You
Yeah.
get go into that. That's why you always get in the same situation. Okay. And you never get out of it because you always end up there. And that's where the problem is. So yeah, people don't change to when you really help them to change by writing stuff so they can unquiet and read about it. Then they start, oh, that makes sense to me. I get it now. Be free, and they start to think about it and say, yeah, you're right, I need to change. How I change, they start to helping themselves to think about it, to make a change, because everybody can think about, I want to change, but nobody can change. They think they can, but they can't. You see, to somebody, really pointing out to them, and they're very quietly to accept they have a problem, accept that this is my problem. I need somebody to help me. And that's where you can make changes when your higher self coming in and help you to take you through the journey.
Very good. So listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Master Wong. If you'd like to just show us your latest book there, actually, so that and tell people how they can get it.
This one is you can pick me on Amazon. Okay.
Amazon.
So I update this new version of this new one because it's a little bit more because this one you have to really. I'm very truthful to people. When you write them, first time you write this kind of thing, it's the continuity. Continuity is not linked that well. And also, it got quite a lot of spelling mistake. Yeah. Spelling mistake. Because, so I update to the new version of it. So it's a lot more flow better. And it's more detail about certain things. Because when you first time writing, you're just talking about, if you punch, you just punch. You don't understand why. You don't understand about the storytelling. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
So I'll tell people very straightforward. I'm telling people.
And that's you learning from your mistakes.
Yes. That's why I always say to people, accept that you have problems. Don't try to slamline them because, bullshit is bullshit. Stop the bullshit and get to the point. So I tell people the same. I go through this first time. I got a little bit of thing. I need to correct them. And then now I got a new book. So the new one will be, I can write one. I send you a over to have a look in to read. And then that way, it's become a lot more. See, the new one is like this, isn't it?
Oh, very nice, yeah.
See?
Wow.
The new one is like this. So that way, become a lot more easier for you to digest and understand it, So that's where my journey is.
Well, you have an amazing life right now, and you've had an amazing life, and it's a pleasure to hear your stories and your side of the story. And we wanted to wish you the best of luck with everything. We're going to add in all your links and all your social profiles. And, for people who are listening to this podcast, if they're curious about your story and would like some mentorship and would like to train with you and so on, we're going to give them all those details. So, because you're an amazing person and we want to commend you for all the work you've done so far. So thank you very much, Master Wong.
Thank you for that. Thank you for today.
Thank you very much, Master Wong. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and you gave us some valuable insights into your life and your teachings and your mentorship and everything. And it's been wonderful to hear your stories and your life growing up and how you evolved into the person you are today. So, I want to commend you for doing a great job. Your videos are very practical and they're very insightful. And thank you for coming on the show, and we wish you the best of luck. Master Wong, everybody. Okay, to you, the listener, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and we will be back soon. And remember, if you could subscribe and spread the word, tell everybody you know, and we'll be here for you next time again with some great guests. So until the next time, I'm your host, Simon Kay. This is the Collective Whisper Podcast. Take care of your friends, your family, and the people you love. Bye-bye.